All right, Tom Jelneck, you are the CEO of On Target Web Solutions. Tom, you and I have been buddies for a while, and we've spent plenty of time in the green rooms together.
That's right. Yeah.
And particularly with Fox 35 here in Orlando. And so, Tom, start off by talking about who On Target Web Solutions is, what you do, and then I really want to get into why you and I are spending time in green rooms. What's up with that?
So, Josh, thank you so much. First and foremost, it's an honor and a privilege and great to spend some time with you today. A little bit about On Target. So I started this company 14 years ago. I have a lot of gray hair to prove that I know SEO and stuff around the sun. But I started On Target to be an SEO company primarily. And over time, obviously evolved and kept adding services and services. It turns out everybody read SEO for Dummies. And so my space that was once very, it was just like me and two other companies in town. Now you find an SEO guy anywhere you turn. So
yeah,
we've evolved to, we still do SEO, but I put that English degree to good use. And my company now creates content for clients all over the United States. So, you know, from B2B to chemical manufacturers to some Ford dealerships, we create content that really engages people and brings people back to their site. So that's kind of us in a nutshell.
Yeah. When you started this, how did you get the word out?
So I literally sat in a 10 by 10 office suite down by UCF. And every single day when I went to work, I would sit there and create blog posts and content for our website, and then kept sharing it and sharing it and sharing it. And honestly, worked on our own SEO so that we climbed the rankings in Google. And I'm dating myself, Josh, but back in when Yahoo was a thing, and MSN and Ask Jeeves and Hotbot.
Yeah.
So I would just get us found there. And that's what really started to get the word out about On Target.
Wow, you are taking me back. Hotbot had completely left my my mind, and you just brought me way, way, way back.
Yeah, I remember Alta Vista. I mean, I could go all day, but yeah. So the world has changed quite a bit in the past 14 years.
Sure. Okay, so at some point, then you know, and you're here based in Central Florida. What was the first time that you had reached out to local media, and what was your approach? Was it, hey, I want to talk all about On Target?
So I have a funny story about this. One day, I'm a very shy person, by the way. So I'm extremely introverted. And one of my weaknesses, Josh, is that I never really went and put myself out there. Like the thought of networking or going to these events sends shivers up my spine. And I just, it's not who I am as a human. But one day I'm sitting in my office, and I'll never forget this. I look down at the caller ID. I'm getting a phone call, and it said Fox 35 on the caller ID. And I answered it. And I don't know if you remember, Josh, Heidi Hatch. Do you remember her from?
Heidi was my first. She was the first reporter I worked with.
She was awesome. So
yeah.
And I knew who she was because I had watched, I was watching Fox in the mornings. So I'm on the phone with her, and she's asking me, Google had just rolled out a new product. And I knew about the product, and I knew what it did, and I knew what it was. And she wanted to come interview me about this particular product. And Josh, the stupidest move I've ever made, I said, oh my gosh, I don't think I know enough about that to be on camera to talk about it. Because I freaked out. Like, instantly in that moment, there's all these gears spinning of like, your peers are going to make fun of you. You're going to say something stupid, or you're going to say something wrong. So all of this self-doubt like smacked me in the face, and I turned it down like a doofus. So I get off the phone, and I remember kicking back in my chair and just like, what the heck did I just do? And thankfully, I'm getting to the point. So thankfully, a week later, the Daily Buzz that was filmed at Full Sail right up the street.
Yep.
They reached out to me, and that's a live nationwide broadcast. And they had asked me to come talk about social media and privacy because they read an article that I posted online. So they came to me. I went there at like 5 a.m. I threw up like 3 times before I ever did it, Josh. And that's kind of what started me getting all these media hits. So to answer your question, I've actually never gone to them. They've always come to me. And I don't mean that in like a cocky way. It just means I kind of had a breakthrough in my own content when I got confident enough, and I started writing the word expert after every single thing that I wrote. So these particular news agencies found me by typing social media expert Orlando, or Orlando SEO expert or Google expert, because I had positioned myself that way. And it worked. So like 400 appearances, and I know that's nothing for yours. I know you got a lot on me, but 400 appearances across multiple channels just because I wrote blog posts.
That's incredible. And so here's the thing. I remember the day that I became a consumer expert. And that day was someone asked me, they said, "So are you a consumer expert?" I kind of looked to the left and right and I said, "Yes, I am."
Yes, I am. That's awesome.
And that was kind of the birth of it.
Right.
It's like, and here's the thing. I don't think that it's a super high bar to be, and what does an expert mean? I mean, an expert, I think, in my opinion, is, do you know enough about this so that you'd be willing to share with others what you know?
Sure.
And so expert to me just means like teacher, and our teachers are experts. And sometimes, and I'm sure you've done this a lot for, your 400 appearances. Was that right? Yeah. Is that someone asks you about something, you're like, oh, okay. And then you go and you start studying and you're reading up on it and you're like, okay, ready to go.
Absolutely.
And it's just regurgitating what you've learned. Maybe in some cases, like there's been, once you do it for a while, it's like improv, right?
Right.
It's like once you get good at improv, like you don't have to really prep you don't prep for improv. In this case,
exactly right.
Where it's a little bit extemporaneous, I'm like printing out notes, grabbing it in the car, looking at my notes in the stop, at the stoplight. And then when I get, to the studio, I'm sitting in the chair, kind of like boning up on like some of the facts and figures and stuff.
That's exactly what I do. In fact, I don't even, I've talked about cell phone plans, and it's like, I'm a digital marketer, but I know enough about tech to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. But I will literally wait till I get to the parking lot at Fox or Channel 13 or whatever, and pull it up on my phone and read it really quick. So I have a general overview. But to your point, like, I've been on the station with, where they have a panel, and it's kind of, I don't mean this, again, I'm not trying to be cocky about it, but like, I remember doing an interview where there was a gentleman that worked in HR, and it was about, tech and HR and how they work together. But the guy had printed out like 19 index cards and was like trying to memorize all of his index cards. Yeah. And he's like, "What are you prepared?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. You just gotta take it. You gotta wing it. Like, you have no idea what those reporters are going to ask you until that camera goes on." So the ability to think on your feet.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Tom, you've been asked questions that you legitimately don't know, right? You don't have an answer for that, but you have a way then of managing that. Mm-hmm. Like, so if someone does ask you a question, like, what do you say?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's always research is showing this, or there's a way that your brain can, I don't want to say reroute the question, but certainly if you don't know the answer, it's okay to say you don't know the answer to that. Right. I've had them ask me questions about, will this fail, or, speculative stuff.
I don't know.
You gotta be real. You gotta be you. I don't know about, like, I add humor into a lot of my appearances because I want to be relatable, and like, I don't want to over geek stuff because most of the stuff I do is geek stuff. But I really think it's the ability to talk at a level that the audience is going to understand. And I think, like we were talking about, a lot of people just overthink this and freak out and want to be really rehearsed and polished. And I mean, there's a place for that, but like, you're just being real and you're being you and you're being an expert, and you just got to go with it.
Yeah. Is this good for business when you get this kind of visibility?
It's not bad for business, Josh. I think, a lot of people ask me that question, have you gotten a lot of business because you're on TV? And I'm like, I think it's more so a credibility thing. You notice my social media, profile picture is me on Fox or whatever. That's by design. It's obviously, it instills confidence in people that they're not working with a slacker. From my experience, people want to work with people who know their stuff. And I know that's exactly your angle too. Like, people want to work with experts. So, does my phone ring off the hook every single time I'm on television? No.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll get more response after the fact because I order the clip and I use social media to blow it out. So let's be honest. Are people watching news as much today as they used to? No. Right. So I just got to put it in the right spot to get the eyeballs on it.
Yeah. Media, there's media you do for authority and media you do for visibility. We find that, and I coach people coming in, like, you are probably not going to be overwhelmed with the amount of business that you get from that appearance, because and here's another thing is, like, generally these people are just seeing you for the very first time. And so they're not ready to pay you thousands of dollars. They're just beginning the relationship. However, you could probably get them to maybe take a look at your website, get familiar with you, and then, X number of impressions later, they might, when it's top of mind and they're like, oh, well, we definitely need to up our content game. I'm in business and, we've got an HVAC company and we've just got nothing going on in that department. Who do I know? Oh, that one Tom guy from Fox 35. Who is that? Tom. And then they do some Google searching, they find you, and sure enough, there's Tom Jelneck from ontargetdigitalmarketing.com. And it gives them what they need. Or they follow you on social media. And that's what they're ready to do at that first impression. And now they're hopefully seeing your posts or your tweets from time to time. Maybe they get on your email list. And it's a nurturing sequence.
100%.
And at some point, when it's right for them, they can choose to engage. But it's a great way to just, I think really the name of the game is how many people can you get to know about the problem that you solve?
And it's all about touch points, Josh. Like, consumers really, before they buy anything today, will visit up to 22 places or be impacted by 22 different places. So, whether they saw me on TV or they saw a tweet, to your point, or a LinkedIn post or a podcast, it is a variety of things, and they're all touch points. Nobody wants to be sold to today, right? Consumers want to shop on their own. It's all about them and the way that they want to do it, not me pushing anything down their throat. So by being in these various places and having a plan of attack and being very strategic about it, I mean, that's how I get prospects, because they know I have credibility. They know I know my stuff. And you got to be better at it than anyone else. I mean, honestly, that's the name of the game too.
Yeah. Finally, how do I get me some pure grind coffee?
Dude, hang on. Josh, it's right here.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Congratulations. You launched your own product.
I did. And thank you so much for asking about that. I love coffee, as I'm sitting here slugging some down at 3:00 in the afternoon.
It's okay.
And it keeps me going. I'm up at like 5:30 and run all day. Yeah. So I always help other companies sell their products. And of course, on Target, we market ourselves as services. I've always wanted to find a product that we could push or experiment ourselves and sell. Yeah. So why not it be coffee? So I just launched this 2 months ago. The coffee is so freshly roasted, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
And I built it
and they're
for
whole beans,
entrepreneurs.
right?
What's that?
They're whole beans, right?
It's whole bean, and I've gotten
Nice.
pushback on that. I don't have a grinder. Well, go get one, because that's the
Yeah.
only way to drink coffee if you're a coffee snob.
Yeah. So I just got a what's the kind of grinder? It's non-burring, or what's
So there's a burr grinder, and then just like a spice grinder.
Oh, so burr grinders are generally a little bit better. It's going to more evenly grind the coffee.
Correct. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm glad you got. Congrats, man. This is a big step.
Yeah. So yeah, and so have you gotten this in the hands of? I would think a product like this, influencer, would be huge for you. Like, just grab like a ton of like Instagram influencers to show them with their, hashtag, promote the brand. I think it's like, it fits. I think you branded it beautifully for like that entrepreneur that's just like grinding it out every day.
Yep.
I love it.
That's exactly what I did. And, I got to thinking, like, there's a million people think I'm crazy for trying to sell coffee, because there's a million different coffee bean brewers, roasters, etc.
It's the identity.
That's it. So it's more so, I mean, the beans are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm very proud of it. It's an amazing taste, but it's all about the angle. It's all about the marketing that's behind it. And it's all about who you're talking to, right? Mm-hmm. I know I'm after entrepreneurs like you. I'm after people who bust their butts all day long, who have this drive, humans just like you and I that have built something.
Yeah.
So
I can be a fan of this. I'm never going to be a fan of Maxwell House. I mean, come on, please.
My first, when I was in high school, I would come home in the afternoon and drink Folgers Crystals, because that's what my dad had. So my tastes have evolved and become more sophisticated and expensive.
Wow. Tom Jelneck, you are the CEO of On Target Web Solutions on the web at ontargetdigitalmarketing.com, and the proud daddy of a new company, puregrindcoffee.com. It is fuel for the hustle. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure, and thank you so much for inviting me. And I'd love to come back sometime. So talk to you soon.